Hello boys and beauties, today we'll be dyeing this to this. A few things that I'll be using today will consist of my Clairol Beautiful Collection semi-dye, as well as my Annie dyeing brush, and a pair of regular black gloves that I got from my local beauty supply store. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to start using my first bottle of dye. I usually like to start off at the tips of the hair to make sure that that part of the hair is covered first, because sometimes the ends of our hair usually dye quicker, which means that it comes out a little brighter. So I definitely want to go ahead and start that process with dyeing the hair first. We'll dyeing that portion of the hair first, and then working my way up to the roots. So as you see, I'm using my Annie brush to gently just glide my brush across the hair to make sure that all pieces of the hair are covered. So make sure when you're putting the dye on the hair, make sure when you put the dye at the ends of the hair, you want to go ahead and brush the dye into the hair right then and there. So as you see, I think I went ahead and I put the dye on the left side of my hair, and you see the other side still had sitting dye on the other side. So just make sure when doing so, you just want to brush in the dye that you put on the hair. You don't want to put more dye on the hair and let it sit. You want to make sure that you work it in right then and there. That way you can have a better outcome from dyeing the hair. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I flipped my bundles on the opposite side. As you see, there is a little bit of red that we missed, so I'm just going to go ahead and clean that up. And I put a little bit more dye on there, and I'm just working the dye in the hair, okay? Alrighty guys, so right now as you see, I'm brushing the hair. This is so essential to dyeing hair because you want to make sure that all pieces of the hair have all the same amount of dye. You want to make sure that the dye is being spread equally throughout all strands of the hair. And it also makes it easier to see what spots you missed as well. So it's very essential to brush the hair. So be sure to do that when you are dyeing any color hair. So now that I went ahead and I covered both sides of the bundle with the dye, I'm now just going to see what spots I miss and just get a little bit more of dye. And you see those little red spots that I have? I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I put some dye on those spots as well. So I'm going to go ahead and brush it out. As I stated before, this helps to make sure that all the hair is covered with the dye, and it also helps to see what spots I missed. So now I'm going to go ahead and start on my second bundle. I'm going to do the same exact steps as I did with my first bundle. So I'm just going to make sure that I speed up this process for you so that you don't have to see the same thing twice. So this is what my hair looks like. I have used all of the dye. All of the hair is covered. As you see, it's blending in so well with the trash bag. I usually like to let my hair sit for about 30 to 45 minutes. The longer you let it sit, the better results you get. Alright, so now we're going to go into our washing and conditioning process. I like to use my Shimmer Light Shampoo as well as my Garnier Fructis Triple Nutrition. I love this shampoo. It makes the hair so soft. And last but not least, I'm going to use my TRESemme Color Revitalize conditioner as well. That helps lock in that dye. Whenever I dye my hair, I usually like to wash each bundle 3 times. So be sure to do that when washing your hair to get all of the dye out. Now that I've washed all the dye out of the hair, I'm going to use both conditioners together. I feel like I get some of the best results when I do this. It helps with locking in the dye as well as making the hair smell good and feel good, nice and soft. You don't want your hair to smell like dye, and you definitely don't want it to feel brittle. So you want to go ahead and do this. Alrighty guys, so these are my results after dyeing my hair, washing my hair, and conditioning my hair. As stated before, I did let my dye sit for about 30 minutes. And once I washed that out, I did go ahead and let my conditioner sit for 30 minutes as well. And these are the final results. I absolutely love this color. This is actually the color that I was trying to aim for. It's not too bright and it's not too dark. You can see that burgundy. It just looks so good and it looks so soft. Here are the installation results as well. If you guys have not already checked out my last video on how to melt your beauty supply store closure, be sure to see the link. I'll drop the link to that video as well as all the products I use. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you next time.